There is a common misconception that every new chiropractor needs a logo right from the start. But I think logos are overrated. Actually, let me clarify that. Bad logos are overrated. In fact, I think it might actually be better to have no logo and just start growing your personal brand than to have a really bad logo. Let's dive into why this is the case and explore the true value of logos in chiropractic branding. Hi, my name is Patra Ponede. I'm a brand strategist and brand identity designer, and I focus specifically on helping chiropractors communicate their passion and their value and their care better so they can serve their favorite clients and make a ton of more money. When starting a chiropractic practice, many chiropractors follow this sequence. Number one, they come up with a practice name. Springfield Chiropractic. Number two, they get a logo designed, often by somebody who is not very familiar with chiropractic and sometimes even unfamiliar with design. And three, they use some colors and fonts that they like. Sometimes it's just something that they like. Sometimes it's something that they saw some chiropractor somewhere else do that they really liked. But even though this is really common, it is completely backward. Your chiropractic logo and your practice name and your tagline, they're all pieces of the same puzzle. And together they tell a story. They tell the story of your unique approach to chiropractic care and patient care. And before you dive into any of those pieces, any of those elements, you need to be very clear what that story actually is. What story are you telling about your chiropractic philosophy and your approach to patient care? Each part of your chiropractic brand serves a very specific purpose. Your visual identity acts as a bait. The more impactful, the more recognizable, the higher the chance of recall, right? The higher the chance they will actually remember it. If it's just another spine logo, you'll look like just another chiropractor down the street. You want to be recognized, so it needs to look a little bit different than anybody else. The more different it looks, the more likely it is that they will actually remember you. I always tell my clients that your audience needs to be able to recognize, they should recognize your brand without seeing your name or your logo. When they scroll through their feed, people don't look at who posted what. They scroll, and if something catches their eye, they stop and read it, right? Over time, if you use your brand well, if you use your brand elements well, people will recognize your brand based on the colors you use, based on the fonts you use, and the pictures you use. And they will stop when they recognize it because they know you share content that speaks to their needs and their fears and their desires. There are two pieces to it. It's the visual thing that you need for them to recognize you and stop scrolling when they see it. But you also need to create valuable content specifically for them, for your ideal patients, so that they actually want to stop. So sometimes they might recognize and they're like, oh yeah, it's those guys. And then they keep scrolling. You want them to stop and actually see what you're sharing because it's good stuff. Your name and your tagline, they serve as anchors. They create a bridge to past experiences people might have had or what they might have heard about you if they don't know your brand yet, if they haven't had any personal experiences. So your visual identity is the bait, right? It catches their attention. And then they see, oh, it's Springfield Chiropractic. And that's the anchor, like, oh, what have I heard about them? Or I've seen their content. It's really good content. And so told me that they've really helped them with their sleep issues or whatever, right? The experiences that your audience has with your brand, they're all stored in their memory, in the limbic system of their brain. And some of those memories get lost, right? We don't remember everything. We can't remember everything. And others stay top of mind. But the key is to be able to bridge the gap to their memory so they can easily remember all of those instances, all of those little nuggets of information that they heard about your brand, things they've seen, maybe even subconsciously. Maybe they didn't stop last time and just scrolled past it, but something caught their eye and they stored it somewhere. And you want them to remember all those little pieces that you have built in the past and those messages that you're sending out, those stories. And all of those together, they create this image in their mind about your brand. And when they see your brand and they read the name and the tagline, they remember, oh yeah, those were the ones that, help families or help athletes or help my friend with their sleep problems. Here's what most people get wrong. They think they need to over communicate everything, that they need to get their audience to remember everything about their brand all the time. So they try to cram as much information as possible into one post. There's the logo, there's the name, there's all this different information in there. Here's all the things we do. Here are all the services we offer. Here are all the things chiropractic care can help with. You don't need to put everything into all the messages. What you need to focus on is bridging the gap for them to easily recall those memories. And that's what the visual identity, your name, and your tagline do. And that is how you build a brand. We built the brand in the mind of our audience. The logo is just one piece of your chiropractic brand puzzle. While it's an important piece, it's not worth rushing into or settling for a mediocre design that doesn't truly represent your chiropractic practice. Take the time to develop a real brand strategy around it. Get clear on who you are, what your beliefs are as a chiropractor. There are many different ones. It's a wide spectrum. And what the story is that you're trying to tell. What do you want your audience to remember about you and your offers? And then you can ensure that your logo, when you create it, truly represents your practice's essence and it truly resonates with your target patients. If you're interested in learning more about brand strategy for chiropractors, join Brand Fusion for Chiros. It's an online community for chiropractors where I share tons of information on how to make your brand rock.